Hi, so today I want to go over how I overcame my infertility using the power of my subconscious mind. And first of all, I just want to say if you're a mother or a potential mother and you have a desire to be, to have kids and to have a family and everything like that, I just want to make sure that you kind of like do it, you think it through, and you do it for the right reasons. Because of course it's natural for anyone to want to have a child, but I just recommend that you do think it through, like by making sure that you're ready, that you have the support, the finances, in order to have a child, because having a child is a big responsibility and you do want to have the level of maturity and everything that you need in order to provide for that child. And you want to have to do it because you are going to have to be involved and your life is going to change. So I just want to make sure that if you truly desire to have a child just out of natural reasons, you do want to make sure that you do have these things in advance before you have a baby, before you have a family. You want to make sure you have a husband or a partner and the finances and just all the know-hows in order to be a good parent. So I am going to share with you what are things that I've done in order to get, to be able to have my own baby. But before you do decide to do this, you want to make sure you have everything in line before you take this very important step. So I just wanted to get that out the way. But yeah, so having a baby is a natural desire, and about a few years ago, I had this desire to have a child, and I would try to get pregnant, and I never would get pregnant. I would have unprotected sex, and I wouldn't ever get pregnant. But looking back, I'm happy that I didn't get pregnant, because the boyfriends that I used to try and get pregnant with, they were just, it happened for the right reasons. So looking back, but when I started to read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, I started to realize that, the things that you tell yourself within your mind, and the fears that you have within your mind, and these thought patterns, like even though there may or may not be anything physically wrong with you, if you tell yourself or you tell your subconscious mind something that isn't true, just because you feel that it's true for whatever reason, that fear or that worry or that doubt will impress your subconscious mind, and it will prevent you from achieving the very thing that you want. So this works good and bad, because you can tell your subconscious mind something that isn't true right now and that you want, like you tell yourself that you are successful, that you're prosperous, that you're happily married, that everything is going good in your life. And even though that may not be true, your subconscious mind will take that information and it will make it true. It will manifest it for you. So it works both ways. So I realized this. And so I did, I analyzed what were my thoughts, what are my habits of thoughts, what were my fears. I identified what my fears were, because I had previously had gotten chlamydia a few times, and I looked it up. As a teenager, I was heavily misguided, but that's all in the past. So I did, and I looked up what the side effects are. That, and the side effects were oh, you may not be able to get pregnant again because it might, your fallopian tubes and everything like that. So because I had gotten this STD in my mind, and I've had gotten it more than once, although I did get it cleared up, I took antibiotics, there was no big aftermath, it cleared up right away, I still had this fear inside of me that maybe, in my mind, in my imagination, that, oh my god, maybe I'll never be able to have kids because of this, or it might be harder for me to have kids because of this, or whatever. So I kept on playing this narrative in my mind, and I went to get checked, to see if there's anything wrong. And basically, everything was fine. The doctors was fine. She gave me the gynecologist, she gave me birth control, because I shouldn't have been, was not in a position to even be getting pregnant at that time anyway. But I still had this desire, or I had this fear of maybe not being able to get pregnant, and I would like, have the very low self-esteem, and I would think that, like getting pregnant would maybe keep me in a relationship with a man, and I would make them want to stay with me. So I really wanted certain relationships, I wanted that to happen, and I had this fear that it wouldn't happen and they would leave me. Certain women may have that fear that and this would hurt me and this would haunt me relationship after relationship, that if I didn't get pregnant, that I wouldn't be loved. And I had this narrative happening in my mind, and it would give me such a low self-esteem. But eventually, I had other things going for myself. I still had time. It's not like I was, I was like in my early 20s and stuff, so it wasn't like that bad, but I still had, I was able to identify. It was not a good thing, to feel that way. So I decided to just build up my self-esteem. I read The Power of My Subconscious Mind. I knew that everything was fine physically, so if it must be me, it must be the fear, it must be the idea of having scarred tubes, the idea of my reproductive system being faulty. All these things must be preventing me, impressing these ideas within my mind and preventing me from becoming pregnant, right? So finally I got into a relationship with my kid's father a few years back. And like I said, at the beginning of the relationship, we would have unprotected sex for about 3 years, and never, about 3-4 years, and never did I get pregnant. And now this was like first 2 years, the third year. It wasn't like consistently having sex because we weren't living together, but I mean, after a while, it's like, what the hell, So I started to feel like, what is up here? What's going on? So I started to reevaluate myself and be like, what? And identified like the issues that may be preventing me. And so what I did was I decided, okay, I'm going to start, I printed out, and I knew everything about the reproductive system, the cycles, best time to get pregnant, in between, when you're most fertile and all that. So, I knew all about it. I took it in school, so I knew all the science of the female body and everything. And yeah, I would even try like special lubricants. I would try different things to try and make me get pregnant, and like just physical things like, to to try and get pregnant. Nothing would work. So finally I decided, you know what? I need to look at my mindset. So I printed like a nice illustration of the female reproductive system, a normal one, how it normally looks. And I printed it out. I would look at it. So I would have the pattern of a normal, visual pattern of what a normal, healthy reproductive system looks like, female reproductive system looks like. And I would look at it a lot. I would also read about the natural functions, how over repetitively, I would read about what a healthy female reproductive system does, how the eggs, how the egg and the sperm and everything, how it develops, how it happens. I would read about how easily, or not how easily it happens, but how it works, how the body naturally does it on its own. I would have this idea of just my fallopian tubes being clear. I tried like natural remedies, like I just looked it up. It was the castor oil packs, which is, it says here, castor oil packs are another way to stimulate the lymphatic system, helping cleanse the reproductive organs and promote healing of damaged tissues where the pack is applied. The circulatory system, castor oil helps promote circulation, bring fresh, oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood to the reproductive organs. So I did this, and I did it like, there's like you do it for like once a week for a few weeks, and I would do this like regularly. And while I was doing it, I really truly felt like and imagined that it was, cleansing my reproductive system, healing my fallopian tubes, making them, just healthy again, that they were clear and healthy, and doing everything that this castor oil pack system was doing. And I really felt the warmth of it all, because you have to use a heating pack, and I just felt really like, this is working, this is good. I was training my mind to think in a more healthy, positive, productive way. And while I was doing this, I would also imagine myself with my baby, just like happy, holding my baby, just feeling that the happiness and joy. I was doing all of this in advance. And then of course I would, time track when I was fertile, and I would, me and my boyfriend at the time, we would, I would hook up with him or whatever, and we would do it or whatever. And yeah, I ended up getting pregnant. I had my first son, and I didn't tell him about any of this while this was happening, but I was so happy, and I knew what I had done. I was successful in impressing my subconscious mind. That's the point. I reversed the negativity, the fear, the fear of not being pregnant, the fear of being physically damaged, and all that was preventing me, even though there was nothing. I don't think, maybe not, but whatever the case is, my mentality was messed up. And so, and I reversed all of that for a period of time, and I was consistent. I didn't get pregnant the first time, but I was still consistent. I tried again. I kept on trying while I was doing it, my thoughts and my beliefs, and I was still thinking positive, looking at the picture. And then eventually I got pregnant, and it was great. And then 2 years later, because I wasn't letting him, I wasn't having any unprotected sex or anything like that. Just like that, the very first time that he came inside of me, after all those times where he didn't, I got pregnant right away. There was no delay. There was no trying. I didn't have to reimagine, rethink. I had already impressed my subconscious mind with the fact that I am healthy and that I am able to have kids and everything's good, and that's it. And now it's like there is no delay. So I'm very careful now. Like I don't even, or like I use condoms. I don't play around with that anymore, because I know that now my subconscious mind is good to go with this subject. So that's my point. My point is, your subconscious mind, or the narrative that you have, is very important as to what you can achieve or what you cannot achieve within your life. It's very important to find a way to replace these negative thoughts and put it on your attention and your energy and your thoughts on what you actually want. You want to feel like you already have it. You want to find ideas and books or things that will cleanse your mind and replace it with things that are true. And even if there is something physically wrong with you, by doing that, your subconscious mind will give you ideas, will bring you the people, things that will enable you to be able to get what you want. That's the point. So it starts in the non-physical meaning your thoughts, your feelings, the ideas, everything that you put in within your mind, and then that will be reflected in the outer world. Whatever needs to be done will be done, and you will experience you will experience that very thing that you've been imagining. You will be led to do the right things. You can use common sense things, but to accomplish what you want. But whatever you need to do, like for other situations, like you will be led to do the right things, and those things will be led to you, and you will accomplish everything that you need to do. It's the same principle that you can apply within every area of your life. You just need to identify what the problem is, what thoughts you need to let go, what ideas you need to put in. And everybody's different. This is what worked for me, but everybody thinks differently, right? You know how there's some people are more visual, some people are more auditory, some people are more kinetic. So you need to identify what's your strongest energy point, what's your strongest sense, the NLP, neurologics linguistic programming for dummies. That really helped me to identify what was my strongest sense that I use. So everybody's different, right, when it comes to that, but you just need to be able to know who you are. And yes, you can take other people's advice, but you have to figure out what is right for you, because no one can be within you. But yeah, that's my strongest point. So I just wanted to help or put that out there for anybody who is having difficulty with fertility, or if you want to just try natural ways. Even if you don't, if you feel like you need to you know, go IVF or do all these other things, like that is an option. But some people cannot afford that, and some people do IVF and it doesn't work either, right? So you have to go to the root of the problem, because if you don't fix the root, it'll be very difficult for you to get what you want, you know, like. So it's very important that you go to the root of the problem, and everything else will just unfold in accordance with the new concept and the new ideas that you have for yourself. Anyway, so if you like this video and it helped you, please hit the like button down below. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to hear more from me. So yes, I will leave it at that. I hope this helped you, and it's definitely helped me, and I'm still, you know, a work in progress. I try to, you know, maintain my energy, my thoughts, my ideas, my ideas, and not give into the fear. And I always try to change the narrative in order to like accomplish whatever I want in my life. So all right, I'll leave it at that, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.